Good afternoon, traders, and welcome back to the Hot Stocks Outlook for August 17th, 2018. Hope you're all having a great week in the financial markets, and as always, plenty of opportunities to cover today. We're going to start here with Yum Brands. We've got O'Reilly, Alibaba, Dean Foods, and also Delta Airlines to look at. But I want to go ahead and start out here with Yum Brands. This is a very good example of how all the tools work here against the chart here on this market. Now, in Yum Brands, we have daily price action. See, these are daily bars and candles going all the way back. And against that price action, you see that there's a few indicators. Now, this black line that you see against the chart, that is what's called a actual or simple moving average. So very simple calculation, just takes past price closes, calculates them together, but acts as a good summary of where prices have been over a given period of time. Now, the blue value that you see against the chart, that is a predicted moving average, and it's utilizing predictive data actually generated via the artificial intelligence and specifically neural network technology found within this VantagePoint software. So once that blue line, and we can see here on the chart that blue line, that predicted value moving above the actual value, suggests, look, the average prices are moving higher. You want to look to be a long or look to take a long position in line with your trading strategy or approach. Now, in addition to that predicted moving average, you also are provided a predicted neural index. And this is an extremely accurate indicator, but it's only looking ahead 2 trading days ahead at a time. So it's forecasting 48 hours ahead, short-term strength or weakness. And you're also provided with actually a predicted high and low range for the next trading day. So you really have trend direction, short-term strength or weakness, predicted high and low, really doing a lot of your analysis ahead of time and before the market starts to move. So you see here at the close of this trading day, we get that crossover, suggests now look for opportunities to the upside. We can actually look at these predicted high and low ranges and see how accurate all of these predictions are against the actual market data. And so you see, if you want to be along in this market, you're provided with this predicted high and low range before the trading day. So you want to look to be in this case, a buyer at these predicted low levels. So whether you're a trend trader getting involved in the trend, a shorter term trader trying to get a trade inside of a trending market, you see here how this works, where you're getting a good intraday level. It's not going to hit every single time, but you understand, look, the trend is up, look to take a position, and that can be very profitable should especially the trend continue. But of course, you're going to have these tools alerting you to, hey, is the trend continuing, or is that blue line, that predicted moving average, moving below and suggesting the trend is now over? But you see here in Yum Brands, market's up about 4.88, almost 5%, not a huge move, really just getting started here. But just how these predicted ranges are going to help you moving forward. So understanding if you're looking for markets to trade, where you really want to be a buyer and how you want to go ahead and strategize those trades. Here in O'Reilly Automotive, so here's something a little bit a longer term trend here. But you see here, this market, exactly like Yum Brands, we get this crossover to the upside, neural index up there at a 1, suggesting, look, the trend is now up. If you want to be a buyer in the market, you can look towards this area, but of course, look towards those predicted high and low ranges, the neural index, to understand what's expected, what's the logical approach as far as your trading strategy. And the important thing to remember is as these markets trade forward, these levels are constantly being updated. So, you're going to be able to adapt with that market position as it continues. But you see here, market moving higher, all these predicted lows here are great areas to go ahead and actually take a position on the market. And obviously to the upside, since the trend, that predicted moving average, still very much to the upside. So you see, you can be adding to a trending position. You can be a shorter term trader, just simply trading over a day or a couple day period of time. But as long as that blue line, that predicted moving average, remains above that actual moving average, you want to remain in the trend. We see this market's up about 15%. A lot of these markets that we looked at, at the beginning of July, really great opportunities to the upside. And then towards the end of July, a lot of markets actually started to turn down. So we have a lot of mixed opportunities as far as bullish or bearish. Here's Alibaba Group. So exact same thing. We have this predicted moving average. You see crosses below the actual moving average, suggesting, look, there's plenty of places to be buying in the market, but Alibaba is not an area where you want to be buying. In fact, you actually want to be selling. So, aside from looking from the predicted low, now looking towards the predicted high to find those areas of the market where you can set those short positions, whether they be, just a shorter term day trade or you getting involved in a longer term trend. So what you don't want to do is really get faked out and be, looking to take a long position on stocks that are really clearly in a downtrend. And we see Alibaba here has done very poorly. Market's down pretty considerably, really getting a gap down just the other day here, but about an over 10% move to the downside. So, while you have these long positions and your trailing stops adding to those trades, there are some areas where you can actually go short and make money on the short side of the market as well. Dean Foods here, again, towards that second half of July is where a lot of markets started to turn lower. And that's where there's some opportunities to the downside opening up, and a lot of volatility in the S&P and the NASDAQ recently. But that's because you've got these mixed markets. So we've got Dean Foods cross over the downside. Neural index strongly at a 0 here. You see we pop up to this green configuration and you run a little bit sideways. But overall, the trend very much to the downside, right? So you want to look towards, again, those predicted ranges over these, these are really weeks of time you're looking at, but where over these weeks you can be looking to take short positions on the market and, add to that existing position, take profits along the way, trail your stops. But you see here about, eight entries into this market, which has remained in a downtrend. And this all starting, much earlier while the market's at about 1060, now things getting, really nasty here more recently, but over about a 20% move, 19% move to the downside just over the last month here of trading. Early the end of July, a lot of these trades coming through where you can take some shorts. We looked at EA last week. Lastly here, Delta Airlines. So, we have these markets. There's a lot more volatility in shares. We have the S&P moving up and down, a percent and a half here and there. It's going to cause more volatility, but that also opens up opportunities. So where you see, you get a big gap up, market moving much lower, but we never get across to the downside. So the trend is still up. You still want to remain in, these positions that started at the beginning of July until that crossover comes through. You can trail your stops up with the market and then look to take profit once that trend reverses. This is a really great move in a lot of the other airlines. Southwest Airlines also doing very, very well. Over a 10% rally just over the past month of time here. So really great opportunities all throughout the market, but of course things are mixed. You don't just want to be buying everything. There's some areas to short the market as well that are really tremendous opportunities. We see things like Dean Foods down 20+% almost just over the past month of trading here. So as always, guys, thank you all for watching. Best of luck throughout the rest of the month here in August and the rest of the summer. Have a great week. Thanks again, and bye for now.